Vic, can you just talk us through, I guess, the situation with Perman, the emotions, knowing that he was going to retire going into the game, and then him getting the send-off he did with a fantastic goal.
Yeah, look, I said it before, Vince. He's a great person first, and he's had a fantastic career that people in Australia dream about. But he's such a gentleman, and for him to come back and help the group, the boys really appreciate him, and they really like him as a person. And obviously, as a footballer, he brings so much to us in terms of without the ball and with the ball. And for him to score the goal, I say this a lot, the more you put in the game will reward you. And, there's another example how the game rewards players that, are top professionals, and they understand how to play the game.
How much does it speak about the character he is that he actually came back? It would have been so easy for him to stay in Europe with his family, especially when it was a reduced pay for him coming back to here like all the other A-League players. But he came back, he did the 2 weeks in the hotel. Yeah. He didn't have to,
No, correct. I mean, it just shows you what sort of person he is. And, he was a young kid that had leukemia. He shouldn't be with us. He's got a leukemia foundation back home. He's a selfless person. He understands why he is on this planet. He understands what life's about. And so a gesture for him to do this for us was not surprising to me, because it's he's a person that he is. He's possibly one of the best person that I've worked in football, and I've worked with a lot of top people, and he's right up there.
It was a good win tonight, but we probably can't let it gloss over the season at large for the Wanderers. It was supposed to be a big one coming to Bankwest Stadium, just been built. There were big hopes that the club would be back to where it thinks it belongs, in the top of the tree in Australia, but it hasn't happened. How much work needs to go in over the next few months leading up to the next season to make that finally happen?
Yeah, there's a lot of work. Buildings don't have pulses. People have pulses. So, having the right people in the football club is important. So our recruitment has to be important. Signing current players at the quality and the standard that we're looking at is important. So there's all different things that we need to do better, and which will hopefully happen.
It's obviously Pierman's last game, but what are the chances that it's also Mitch Duke's last game for the Wanderers?
Look, it's a possibility. Unless we hear anything different, there's still hope out there. I mean, you guys know what I think of Mitch Duke, right? So the boys are saying that I'm his dad at the moment, but his characteristic epitomise what the club is. So he gets it, he understands it, and and that's why he's had a tremendous season. So happy for him. Once he came centrally to the pitch, his strike rate has been tremendous.
A bit of handball to the others.
Anna, you can ask the next questions, please.
So it was going to be Val, but Jovi, I guess as Vince said, a whole lot of work to be done. What do you take out of tonight? The result, the performance, that I guess you can maybe lay a little bit of foundation on.
No, we laid the foundation on as soon as we took over the position. We've played 12 games, we've won 5, draw 4, lost 3. So in terms of return, 19 points available to you at 36 points. If you have a full season like this, you're on 41 points. So, and that's even without talking about the challenges that we've had.
And I guess immediately how does the next, I guess, few months look? Imagine from a football department point of view, it's pretty busy, but is it just getting through this contracts sort of phase and then into plans for next season? How does it look? Because it's probably not going to be too long an off season, all things considered.
Yeah, this is the busiest time of the football department. The next month or couple of months will set the platform of what the season looks like. So what you do in the off season dictates the platform for the season. So, we need to do our due diligence in all different areas, and if we do that properly, then the season will look much different.
Well, any more questions, Anna? No?
Well,
Okay, Val, you're next.
Yeah, JP, just with regards to the competition, I think the well-being of the competition is imperative that the biggest clubs actually do well. And this season, the biggest clubs, Western Sydney and Melbourne Victory, haven't done that well. And you've had Sydney, another big club, has done okay. Does that put more weight, more pressure on the club to actually do it? Because perhaps, you're keeping the A-League up as well, so to speak?
Yeah, very much so. The A-League will be as successful as those clubs that you mentioned. But that's very clear all around the world. If big clubs are successful and they're challenging for trophies, then that makes the league much healthier. And from the club's point of view, then that's our responsibility to make sure that we give the fans exactly what they deserve and what they want.
Thank you.
Joey, your questions, please.
AJP, there's been a lot of talk about players potentially leaving the club, but conversely, has this post-pandemic block of games, have any players impressed you to the extent that maybe they hadn't been in your plans for next season previously, but with their play in this stretch of games, they're now well and truly in your plans for future campaigns?
Look, if I work with a group of players 2 weeks, within a week or 2 weeks, we usually recognise, the qualities that every player has, and our job is to improve them all the time. There's really no surprises as such, yeah. So in that regards, no.
And just to follow, we asked Brebs before, he's got Asian Champions League to consider. Not something for you, but I imagine you want to hit the ground running for your first full season as a head coach. When would you be hoping to get pre-season started to work with this club, given that we're supposed to start the next season in around December?
Yeah, is that right? Is it December, is it?
I think that's what's been reported.
Yeah, okay. So if that's the case, we've planned to start in October.
So pretty soon.
Yeah. I think the players have had plenty of, I wouldn't say rest, because mentally it was very demanding on everyone. But in terms of their recovery, they will have a couple of weeks off. Then they'll be on their programs before they come into the headquarters to start training.
Okay, Vince, last question, please. Or last questions.
JP, just on recruitment again, I mean, we're talking about players who have left, but I'd imagine you would have been looking, for players to bring to the club, Aussies and imports as well. Is that the case? And just what does that look like at the moment with the world the way it is? It can't be easy being on the lookout for players.
Yeah, obviously, you're constantly working on identifying players, and players have put also presented to you, and Aussies, visa players, and so on. In terms of the planning for this is a little bit still in the dark. What does it look like? What's the cap's going to be? More information, then the better that you can plan. So at the moment, we're looking at a few, but it's a long way off.
And last one from me is next season, if it starts in December or February or whatever it is, you're going to have another rival on your doorstep in MacArthur FC who, they've got a few players signed up as well. Not enough to fill a squad, but the ones that they have signed are pretty impressive on paper. How much does that add to the challenge, do you think, for the Wanderers to be back where they should be on the field and also on the field?
Well, it's a healthy challenge, isn't it? There'll be another derby, which is great, right next door to us. And, they've done some decent signings, as you mentioned. So we'll be looking at doing the same. So we'll put a squad together that, we will feel that, they'll have every opportunity to challenge for a league.